So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. So if you guys could just introduce who you are in our table, what your name is and your background and what you studied.
Yeah, my name is Lydia, and I do my postgraduate here at Ulster University. And my background is integrated designer, so it's kind of brief. And so I'm in my second year now.
My name is Owen, and I studied textile art design and fashion here in Ulster, and I'm recently postgrad this year in Belfast.
My name is Chris. I graduated from University of Ulster about 4 years ago, and I'm currently working for a Southern Animation studio here in Belfast.
My name is Izzy Todd, and I'm currently working as a user experience designer in Belfast, and also in my final year in interaction design.
Nice. So the project that we're doing now is called the Power of Design series. It's in relation to Belfast Design Week, so we're just trying to get different people's opinions, or more today we're just discussing what does design mean to you. For me personally, I'm not experienced in this conversation, so it's going to be a real learning conversation for me as well. So the first question I have is, what does design mean to you?
So I find it's kind of two aspects to design for me. So one is that it's my professional kind of background, and hopefully I will earn my money with it then after uni. And as well, it changed kind of my mindset, so how I see the world. And I think the choice of studying design is because I have a certain personality that it plays into. And so I just realized that it kind of influences my whole life in a way, so it's kind of, inspiring each other. So design is definitely a passion for me.
Design kind of suggests that we are, or I am the designer almost, and it's about nurturing and taking an inspiration or idea into a concept, and then for me, a 3D form. Even my graduate collection, Brubus, it kind of was inspired by the daily mundane routines of society, and more in a suburban environment. So I took the word suburb and literally flipped it back to front, and that was my inspiration, just that one word. So everything fell from that. So that's my design process.
I think design for me, when you think about it, there's always that artistic side of it and the functional side of things. When we work with an animation, with all the different aspects from character design, set design, how the characters move and stuff, that all comes and stems from the functionality of not just the appealing character design, all this looks nice, but it also has to move in certain ways and act with certain scenes and stuff. You have to set up your stage so that design in a way that the characters can perform all the actions and what they need to do within that set. So it does play a big part within the animation.
Yeah, I think it's similar. In interaction design, the design is beautiful, but also has to be functional. And so for me, I've always seen design as a story, because it's all about that communication. And especially in the interaction design, it's not just you designing something and putting something out there. It's a collaborative story, because the people are using your design and participating in it. So you're not telling them a story. You're almost creating an ecosystem in which they create their own story, and that's what I find most interesting about design.
Yeah.
It does inform your thinking. People who just look at something or as a problem, but you as a creative person or designer look at it in a different way and try to come up with a creative solution for that problem. And that whole journey from the initial problem, the A to B, that whole design process is obviously what you go through to get the chosen outcome or the outcome that you feel informs and helps that solution.
Yeah.
Because you stop seeing anything that's necessarily impossible, because from design it's all about solving those problems. So instead of looking and thinking I can't do that, you start breaking it down and thinking, how can I do that, or how can I get creative about that?
I think as well for me, I'm always looking what is the kind of common ground of the different design areas. So interdisciplinary design or multidisciplinary design, it's all about telling the story. Either it's which kind of medium, doesn't really matter. It's more about the kind of content you want to transport and to communicate or to work around. or just bring into the world. So I find design is a very broad term, and it's really hard sometimes to navigate between artistic design or designed artist, don't know, whatever. So it's very complicated. I think that those kind of borders or sometimes limit us more than it helps us to do something creative. So I think we should just not really think too much about those terms, but more like think about what are we actually doing and who's our audience, or what do we want to express, rather than those kind of areas where we're meant to be.
Yeah, because I feel like it can feel quite limited. Like that's coming from more of like a creative, artistic art background rather than a design background. I always just never would associate myself as being a designer as such. Like, what was your experience in terms of studying fashion? Is that
It was more fashion than textiles.
yeah,
Definitely more designer than artist.
yeah,
But you still kind of adapted to both in a way. You can kind of do
both,
what you
bring
want
both
and
elements.
change yourself into the other to be for that.
I think it's just more, it's like a blurred line between like artist and designer. Like I don't think for like certain mediums that you're really one or the other. Like I think they both work hand in hand, because you have like, say for like furniture design and stuff, obviously it's a bit more functional and you're considering like form and things like that. Whereas you go to your textiles and stuff, even though you're creating patterns, like you're still technically designing those patterns, and it is still coming from that kind of same area, but it's just like you come like that creative output versus, oh, I want to leave this door, this chair to work in a certain way, but also still look nice. Type of thing.
But even like, what is a function? So it can be a function that you communicate something about yourself. It can be a function that you make something which, don't know, makes somebody laugh. I mean, function is as well kind of a term which can be defined differently. So
it's kind of starting with like what's the story you're trying to tell, and then figuring out the function or the form after that, rather than maybe it's easy, and sometimes design can suffer from that you think you start with like, oh, this is going to be X, is going to be a fashion, or it's going to be within those particular walls, when that's actually constraining you, rather than starting with what is this thing, what is it actually supposed to do, or what is it supposed to make someone feel, and then you can design or create art around that, and it exists within that kind of intersection of art and industry, and it doesn't have to be a specific, you don't have to build up walls and say it can only be this, because that's actually, maybe you're potentially not creating the best possible solution for that problem.
And so, just for my head to wrap around, could you guys give me like an example? So just say you're talking about your work and the way that you think, what could be like a live example of design and that process?
Yeah, so I'm thinking about sometimes like how I can improve the creativity within my own process, just to like reinvent myself all the time, because you can get stuck in your like routines and your design experiences yourself, and always like go down the same route. But I really like Brian Eno and the kind of oblique strategy, and to implement that in my work. So that means like bringing random factors, like stuff you don't know about or a material you have never worked with, into your work. And that kind of, for me, is always helpful. So that is, for me, design thinking, like made visible in my work process.
What about you?
Well, I think like, in terms of like, the animation process, there's a lot of designs into the initial stages in terms of character design, set design, story development, trying to embed emotions from the viewer at the end experience and the outcome. Maybe just an example of like, with an animation, obviously there's deadlines and money and stuff involved, so there's limitations sometimes on what you can do. So like for university, for example, on our final project, we had 6 characters to animate, all had hands, but because we didn't have enough time to like animate all the fingers, we just put like daily mitts on them. So instead of having to do this, we were just able to close like that. So it saved us a lot of time in animating. That was just a simple change in the character design that allowed us to free up time for us to just hit the deadlines.